Well, the other big national story as far as baseball concerned was, of course, Cooperstown on Sunday, where the Ken Griffey Jr. got inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and Mike Piazza. Greg, it was about as much tears as I've seen from two speeches. And I guess the real surprise, Piazza's Italian, so I expected some emotion from him. But Ken Griffey Jr., it's not what you expect from him. You never really saw that sort of emotion except for the constant smile on his face. And he's a guy that you watched throughout his career when you were broadcasting with the Rangers, and you got to see him up close a lot. Tell me about what it was like to see Ken Griffey Jr. at that time.
Well, it was great. I also got to spend a lot of time with him one time when I was in Japan for the Major League versus Japan series. He and his wife and I were in a van with a camera crew, and we took him all the way out to Tokyo Disneyland, and we chatted all the way and got to learn a lot about him. But no, as a player, he was, before injuries, I'll say before he went to Cincinnati because the injuries were starting to crop up, during his peak years, which would have been 3 or 4 years into his career, he was the best player I'd ever seen. And I still contend that in those days in the National League, everybody was talking Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds. This was before Barry and the big home runs. They were talking Barry Bonds, Barry Bonds. And he couldn't carry Ken Griffey's jock in those years. I mean, I'm exaggerating because Barry was a very good player, but he was not in Ken Griffey's class. He was the best all-around outfielder I ever saw, again, until he got hurt. We in Houston got to see him mostly after he was a power hitter, didn't run anymore, average was lower, was in and out of the lineup at times. It wasn't the same guy. But when he was in Seattle, he was extremely he deserved to get as many votes as he did for the Hall of Fame.
And Ken Griffey Jr. in his speech, he was so emotional that he was getting teared. He kind of teared up over his agent. When you're tearing up over your agent, I haven't seen that since Jerry Maguire. So that that's unique. That's unique, especially since as good as he was, he could have pretty much ridden his own ticket without an agent almost. So, but his agent got him where he wanted to go. And he wanted to go home, and he got him there, and so you got to give that guy credit.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.